Good morning, and welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I'm Razzle11, and you can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. Going to take a look at pitching for today, the 25th of August. It is Sunday. We do have a 9-game main slate in front of us. I have not seen any weather updates. So for now, I will assume that all games are going to be good to go. Reminder, this is a first look at the pitching options. I go more in depth for the members at DFS Army. I will be looking at DraftKings as that is where a majority of my action is. If you are on FanDuel, I would cut my pool into half or even a third, as pricing isn't as tight. Scoring system's a bit different, so we can focus more on getting the stacks around just a handful of pitchers. But let's dig in here. First look, I kind of scrolled through before I even started this recording. I'm not excited about pitching today at all, to be honest. A lot of game totals, 8.5 up to 10 on this slate. In fact, every single game is 8.5 to 10. That makes it a little more annoying. Should see some offenses kind of get it done. Obviously, it's Sunday. Lineups are a little different. So maybe there are some spots that come out once lineups start popping that we might want to take another look at. But for the sake of this video, I think there's only one lineup, or three actually, now that I'm looking at it, out right now. So 4. Wow. Must have missed one of the notifications, but still, a lot of lineups to go before we can get an idea of who might be in a better spot than the first look. So at the top, you get Kevin Gausman, Jekyll and Hyde all season long. 2 starts ago against this Angel squad was dominant. Strikeouts just haven't been there. Obviously, just not completely healthy this year. Hasn't been great at home where he's pitching today. So there are some things that point towards not great. The problem is he's probably the best option on this slate. I think the Angels have one of the lowest implied run totals. This game is tied at the bottom with a total of 8.5. I just think we're using Kevin Gausman. It is what it is. I just hope he can get through it, really. K-prop is 6.5. Juice is on the under, though, but still a pretty strong K-prop. And as I scroll quickly at the rest of the slate, his K-prop is the highest on the slate. Just ahead of Stroman, Matthew Boyd, and Seth Lugo. So not a super exciting K slate for us to work with by the looks of things. So, but yeah, Gausman at the top. Just gonna have to go there. Lugo, I think I'm gonna end up fading Lugo. I have to think about it some more. Obviously, a tough matchup, but he's coming off of a solid performance. He was against the Angels. And he dominated Cleveland at one point. You know, that's a good trend. The more I think about it, the more I might just have to keep him in the player pool. Biggest reason being the fact that, you know, the rest of the pitching is kind of weak. So Lugo does have a chance to be, you know, the one of the highest couple scoring pitchers on the slate. Doesn't feel like a super strong chance, but 10 to 15% might be enough to get it done. Tanner Houck, guy that's kind of struggled the second half of the season. He's coming off a pretty solid performance against the Astros. But prior to that, he had been really struggled. I'm interested just because I think there can be some strikeouts in this matchup, and he has been at his best when pitching at home. Just overall numbers, his K numbers haven't been as strong at home, but still, he's at least interesting to me in this spot. A little more interesting than Lugo is. His K prop's just 4.5 with juice on the under. Uh, I feel like that's a low number, but I haven't obviously have not dug into Arizona's recent numbers, but I do know that Arizona has the best record in baseball, uh, either in the second half or over the last month. I don't remember the exact time frame, but I do know they are one of the best teams in baseball for sure in August. Merrill Kelly has not looked great in his return. A lot of walks. I mean, a lot of them for him. Ks really aren't there. I'm just not going to go there. Small sample hasn't been good on the road. Obviously, that's just two starts. Um, but I just don't really see a reason to go to Merrill Kelly. His K prop's at 4.5 with juice on the over. So his K prop's sitting a little better than Tanner Houck's is. But I believe, yeah, Houck is a minus 135 favorite. Game total 9.5 in this one, which is the second highest total. Yeah, just behind the Philadelphia and Kansas City game. Kind of going back to Lugo there, who was a minus 148 favorite in a game with a total of 10 though. Bradford, I might end up going to Bradford. I don't really want to. Um, Reason being is quite simply Cleveland, I believe, has the best record in baseball against left-handed starting pitching. Now, I know they've had some more strikeouts recently, but overall, Cleveland doesn't really strike out a whole lot. Um, but this game does have, the lowest total on the board. Cleveland's just a minus 125 favorite. So I think Bradford actually could slide into play here. Um, he has the ability to get it done. But like I said, K upside might not be there. The one plus, obviously, that we referred to earlier is that this slate doesn't have a ton of K upside from prop standpoint. Bradford's K prop at 4.5 with juice on the under. So a lot of very similar K prop numbers. Nobody's really dwarfing the field, so to speak. So maybe we can get away with a lower K spot on this slate. So Bradford is going to be in my pool. Not somebody I'm going heavy on. Uh, Tyler Anderson lit up by this Toronto squad just a couple starts ago, coming off of a terrible start against Kansas City, um, which was after he shut down the Yankees in the Yankee Stadium. He has been at his best when on the road. With that being said, I am not going to end up with Tyler Anderson uh, as of right now. Um, I think I'd rather obviously go down to like Zebby Matthews, Javier Assad, considering Stroman, even though I hate him. But it's just that matchup that we're targeting. So I'm going to pass on Anderson. Eric Fetty has not been good in his after his trade to St. Louis. Looked solid against the Brewers, but no strikeouts, a lot of walks. Fantasy points weren't there. He's been great against the Twins this season, absolutely dominant. Um, that's gonna cause me to consider him. K prop of 4.5. Minnesota is a minus 142 favorite. And it is one of the games with a total of 8.5. So I think maybe Fetty ends up sliding in. Definitely ahead of Tyler Anderson. I'll put him ahead of Merrill Kelly at this point, but I'm not overly excited about playing Eric Fetty. But again, we might have to just because of this slate. Marcus Stroman, not somebody I like playing. He's been giving up the home runs at home. His K numbers are better when at home. Massive difference between his K numbers home road wise. He's taking on Colorado, weak offense, team that we've been picking on left and right with pitching. We just keep doing it. Does have the ability to get us, 24, 25 fantasy points, but that's been his ceiling this year. That's really not an exciting ceiling. Obviously, 25 fantasy points, if you've been watching the stuff that I put out, is a number that I like. Obviously, 25 plus. He is a massive minus 265 favorite. So that would mean Colorado has the lowest team total on the board, uh, lower than the Angels, I do believe. Uh, his K prop sitting at 5.5, juices on the under. Not excited about that number. It seems a little high, but I mean he hasn't He's gone over it, what, once since the last week and a half of June. Um, and even then, yeah, the K number is pretty high. So I'm not overly excited. But again, the matchup we've been looking for or looking at for weeks now. So we do have to consider Stroman. I just don't know if he can match the upside of some of the other guys. Um, Zebby Matthews coming off of a start with very little strikeout. That came against San Diego, who's not a strong strikeout team. His first start came against Kansas City, who also is not a strong strikeout team. He managed one per inning with five of them. Uh, I'm interested. He is favored, minus 142. Uh, put up a ton of strikeouts in the minors, not many walks. Uh, I like his ability. I think he has more K upside than Stroman does in the spot. I don't think his K prop is overly strong. Um, Looking at, yeah, it's 3.5 with juice on the over. That seems low, but um, I don't know. I want to include Matthews just because I like the spot, but maybe his upside's capped a little bit as well. Javier Assad, definitely going to be somebody I'm on. Um, Back to back pretty strong starts. K's were there last start against Detroit. We know Miami's pretty weak. K prop of 4.5. Just slightly on the under. He is a minus 175 favorite. Uh, I expect him to be fairly popular. Luis Ortiz was strong against Cincinnati the first time. I'm not sure I'm going to get there this time, though. Um, just not somebody I'm excited about using. I might be on the Matthew Boyd train coming off of a not so great start, but he was strong against the Cubs. Texas's offense, I believe, has been pretty stagnant and lackluster recently. He is favored. Um, K prop of 5.5, juice on the under. I think he's somebody that we're just going to have to play on this particular slate. A couple other names that I am considering right now. Nick Martinez has shown some good things recently. His last couple starts haven't been strong. Um, just somebody I want to consider a little bit. His overall numbers have been better when on the road, underlying numbers wise. So um, maybe I want to go there. I'm not really sure yet. And Jonathan Cannon has mid 20s upside. Got lit up by Detroit the first time he faced them. Kind of gonna have to dig in a little bit here. He's been better when at home, and that's where he's at. So uh, Cannon is an underdog, so that kind of isn't exciting. Nick Martinez was a slight favorite in that matchup. So, uh, but there you have it. There's the first look at pitching. If you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, get the alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. And if you want to join us and get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, Discord, etc., I will put links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, that's RAZ, for 10% off monthly. And as always, best of luck, everybody.